Well, you did it. You made it through day two of CIE 407, grant writing and fundraising in education. Congratulations. It's got to feel good at the end of day two. Actually, it's a big accomplishment. You're a quarter of the way through the course already. That's kind of shocking, but it's the fact. What I wanted to do at the end of today was just talk to you a little bit about how to build this logic model, and it's a way to think also about how you're designing your proposal. And so think about some of these main ideas here in this logic model outcome. These are all things that you've talked about to some degree, or I should say you've thought about to some degree already. Certainly the readings and videos have been encouraging you to think about these different points about your particular project or fundraising or grant writing topic or issue. But remember, we always start with the need, and that's one of the reasons why your needs assessment plan and then your statement of the need are such an important part of building your grant or fundraising idea right at the beginning of not just this course, but anytime you're doing a grant writing or fundraising project. So what is the need, and why is that need important, and how can you articulate what that need is as specifically and in as much detail as possible, but in the smallest amount of space? You really have to, it's reversing everything that we've ever done as academics, or that you've done in graduate school or as part of your formal education, where we're always trying to add more language and create, an extra page of text. This is the opposite. How can we say exactly what the need is, and exactly the target population, and exactly the detail about how this fits with the mission and the goals of both the organization that you're a part of and the funding agency in as little space as possible. We want to focus on who the affected community is, and why them. What is it exactly? Oh, look, I can do a pointer. What is it exactly about the affected community that you want to talk about? And make sure that you're being as specific and keeping the scope as small as possible. So you want to be able to say, these are the people who absolutely need this project or program, and you have to fund this, oh great and mighty funder, because they need you so much. And this affected community, this target population, this group that has a particular need is right here waiting for you. You want to talk about that. You want to talk about the opportunity, what is missing in particular. So you're going to have to recognize that regardless of what you're asking for money for or to do, somebody's probably already doing something related to that. It's very rare that there is absolutely zero going on already related to your topic. Excuse me. Okay. So what you're trying to do is point out, yeah, there's this need, yeah, there's this target community or affected community that I'm working in, but there's an opportunity to address that need that is different than what other people are doing or have done before. So that's the what is missing. What is not being done, or what has been overlooked or missed by the other groups and the other people and the other organizations that are researching this or investigating this or solving this or addressing this need. You want to be very clear and state the goal to achieve. The more direct and specific that goal is, usually the better. And make sure that that goal aligns as much as possible with the stated goals and needs of the funding agency, as well as your own organization, nonprofit, school, whatever. You need to state one simple approach. What is it that you're going to do that will address this need? In other words, this what's missing part should be this one simple approach. Now, granted, sometimes you can have a larger scope for a grant or a fundraising request that encompasses many different pillars or issues related to the overall need. And maybe you have a multi-pronged approach that to providing opportunity to solve this need that is frankly outstanding and needs to be implemented as a multi-pronged approach because all the different prongs overlap with each other. Maybe that's the case. And so in that case, you'd want to make it, still as simple as possible, but multi-pronged or multi-phased or whatever it is. But if you can narrow it down to one simple approach, and that could be, here's the problem with that. Sometimes that's the gimme approach, right? If we only all had iPads, or if they only, if students just had this app on their phone, or blah, 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 and you can focus too much on the technology or the product or a particular service rather than what that product or service can do, right? So the approach is not just having something. It's not just getting something. It's using whatever that something is as a tool or as the mechanism to create this broader opportunity that solves the need. You want to state very simply how your approach will be implemented. You'll have time later in your proposal to draft something that's a little more specific about your plan for implementation. But if you could do a 5-step approach to implementing your proposed funded project, that's awesome. And you want to, in that stating your approach, how your approach is going to be implemented, one of the steps to that, or one of the phases to that, should be the result, right? It should be addressing the need directly. What are the outputs and what's the main outcome? And again, we spent some time, I think it was yesterday, how quickly time flies, thinking about outputs and outcomes, or maybe it was today. It's both days, thinking about outputs and outcomes and what they mean and how we can think about putting them together, or I should say that differently, how we can think about making them separate so that they complement one another. And you want to be able to articulate that as clearly as possible. If you have these 8 components of your logic model and you can fit that on a page, right, so that this is a summary design for what you're doing or what you want to do and why you want to be funded, this would be fantastic. Remember, the need is not just to get money. That's a means to the end. And it's certainly, I know it's what the course is about, but really you're thinking about what is the need that the money will help address or resolve or create opportunity. All right, day 2. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. I'll see you tomorrow.